If you're an international medical student thinking of doing electives in Canada, this video might completely change how you prepare for it. Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're interested in how to apply for electives, please refer to my previous video for that. I cannot believe I recorded for literally 20 minutes and my storage was full, so the video stopped recording.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
I can't believe I have to do it again. Like, my mouth is tired now.
Oh God, please, no! No! No!
Today, I'm sharing my actual experience. What happened in the hospital, in the clinic, what their expectations were, how to get an LOR out of this. And I have done 2 electives. One was in the clinic and the other was in the hospital. Both of them were completely different. Let's start with something really important, the system difference. In India, in my med school, it was very academic focused and we did not get much practical experience. Even though there were so many patients and it was a very busy hospital, we were never really taught how to actively manage them. In Canada, it's completely different. As a med student, you're actually expected to function at the level of a junior resident.
Wow!
So you see the patient first. You do the physical exam, history, the assessment, create a management plan, present it to the attending, and then the attending has a teaching moment where if they agree with your plan, you go through with it, good job. And if they don't, they will just guide you on how to make a better plan. First 2 years are preclinical, which are academic only, and the last 2 years are full of rotations, during which they are part of the team. They do full days, they do nights, and even 24-hour shifts. I really appreciated the teaching culture. You're not insulted for making mistakes. You're not yelled at for missing something from the history or the exam. That environment actually makes it easy to take initiative because, let's be honest, if you're constantly criticized, you're not going to want to work. You're not going to want to learn. They're responsible for teaching you well and teach you with empathy and kindness. Evaluation style. This part is so crucial. I wish someone told me this before. It's not like in India where you do nothing all year, but you perform well on the final exam and then they give you a good grade. Instead, you are being evaluated from day one. Everything you do matters. How you interact with the patient, how you do the physical exam, the assessments, the plans. They're going to be observing all of it. Your first impression, it matters. My outpatient clinic was honestly the hardest because it happened almost 2 years since I performed physical exams, properly at least, and to suddenly be expected to perform at the level of a resident was difficult to say the least, and I did not receive the proper guidance on how to prepare for it from my seniors. So I'm here to make sure that you don't have the same problem. You're expected to follow a structured SOAP format. So subjective, take a concise, relevant history. So exam, again, you do the relevant exam concerning the chief complaint, nothing unnecessary. So for example, in a UTI patient, you would do an exam to check for costovertebral tenderness, to rule out pyelonephritis. Then in the assessment, you write your differential diagnosis. Then you make a plan. It can include imaging, treatment, or even what you discussed with the patient. Counsel the patient on XYZ concerns and ask them to follow up after 2 weeks or call the hospital and return if worsening of symptoms or new symptoms, etc. In the outpatient clinic, there's usually only a single doctor for the entire month. So having one preceptor is kind of risky because if their first impression of you is bad, you're stuck with them for the rest of the month and then they still might not give you a letter of recommendation. Overall tips from this experience. Concerning the knowledge base in the outpatient clinic, you needed to have a lot of knowledge because there were patients from neurology, liver patients, pediatrics, geriatrics, mental health disorders. So vast. I did one pass of UWorld. I made notes of each disease, just the symptoms, the investigations, the treatment, and studying that really helped me come up with a differential for each patient and answer any questions they might ask from me. The physical exams, though, are so vast. Cranial nerve testing, abdominal exams, eye exams, visual field testing, ear tympanic membrane check, Weber's, Rene's. There are endless exams that you could practice. There are a lot, and I would suggest, if you have an outpatient clinic, to have a partner to practice these tests with. My inpatient hospital experience was an OBGYN rotation. There were multiple doctors, and a different doctor was on call every day. It gives you more an opportunity to impress someone. If there are many preceptors with different personalities, you might actually feel more comfortable and more confident with one particular preceptor rather than the others, which could help you showcase your knowledge and skills more easily. And yeah, that would help make a good impression. Remember to take more initiative to make a good impression. I'm not comfortable with doing a normal delivery myself. Is it okay if I observe you and then assist on the next one? I have not done many speculum exams. Is it all right with you if I get more experience with them? If you take more initiative, you will make a stronger impression. They also appreciate if you're kind, respectful with the patients, if you had good communication skills, if you're explaining everything. Like, okay, I will be palpating your abdomen now. Let me know if you feel anything uncomfortable. And if you keep checking on the patient to make sure they're not uncomfortable, because they are nervous and they're people too. So just be kind with them, be respectful. They will really appreciate it. I'm going to tell you some of their expectations of me, but I was not actually expected to do anything that I was not comfortable with. Reading NSTs, fundal height exam, speculum exams, PVs, ARM, Foley's dilation, assisting C-sections, assisting normal deliveries, hand ties. Did I mention checking fundal height already? Membrane sweep. Exams are limited, so if you get good at them, you can make a good impression at the end. Unlike the outpatient clinic where there's different exams, there's only a few exams in OBGYN. As for the knowledge they require is very patient-to-patient based. So rather than asking you some question about trigeminal neuralgia in a headache patient, you're going to mostly get the same patients like preeclampsia, placental abruption, breech deliveries, shoulder dystocia, things like that. So management of shoulder dystocia, how do you read an NST? How would you know this patient has preeclampsia? What investigations would you order in this patient? Things like that they would ask, but only those that are like relevant to the patient. You don't have to know everything. They're not going to ask you what type of suture is this? What are the diameters of the fetal skull? What's the longest diameter? They're not going to ask you super detailed questions. They're going to ask you questions that will let them know that you're going to manage this patient safely. Just remember, the main thing is being confident, direct, respectful, empathetic, having good communication skills. Honestly, this is the main thing. Just show that you're interested in learning. Overall, my experience was great. If you have any specific questions, please comment them down below so I can make another video addressing your doubts. Thanks for watching.